Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Xbox, the Box of Xbox podcast. My name is Potato from Potato Pro Wrestling, and I'm with my good friend, Alice.
Hi.
Alice.
My pronouns are she, they, and this week is going to be a quiet week, but we got a bunch of go through. But then, as we got news, we also got news on Lewis's front. So, I suppose you have, like, good and bad news?
Yeah. So,
want to start with good news?
My pronouns are like Michael Jackson. They he. My bad news. It was good news, and it turned to bad news 10 minutes before the episode started. So I bought a brand new camera.
Yay!
This little yay!
Same as me.
And if you're wondering why I'm still in 720p, it's because it's broken already.
Boo!
What the hell? Boo!
Yeah.
The USB-C just bent out of shape, or like what the hell? So I'm gonna have to return it.
So it's like the plug on it. It's because the camera itself is just like directly attached into the camera, so you cannot change cables. So
no, if you could change cable, it'd be fine, but you can't change cable, unfortunately. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a cable that is like a USB-C, which normally you need the USB-C. But you need to get a special adapter so you can plug into it. So it's USB-A, so you can goes into your computer. And I've been helping me with the camera and getting the cable sorted, and did not go to plan.
Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Yeah, I got the adapter, but it ended the break. Basically, the adapter broke the wire, I think. So that's the problem. When it comes to returning stuff to Amazon in the past, it's like, oh, you go to your local Hermes shop to take it back. And then last time I looked it up, it was literally like 20, 30 miles away. I'm like, damn, I'm not going to do that. But apparently there's one that's literally just down the road from me now. I'm like, oh, brilliant. So I did a web chat, because I did web chat with an Amazon employee, and they were really actually quite helpful. As I've worked in customer service for years, sometimes you can get some really bad customer service, but you know, they sorted it out, so I'm going to get a refund for it. Anyone got any recommendations for 1080p webcams or 4K webcams, just let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it, because I'm not sure if I'm going to buy the same one after I've just had those issues, to be honest.
That's a shame.
Going to put me off that.
Because I'm using the Logi Streamcam, been using a USB to USB-A adapter, which is like a wire one, another plug.
Yeah.
And it has worked well for me for years. It's just the same adapter. It's not in stock anymore on Amazon. And there are some alternatives that are like plugs. And that's where I'm not that trusting of it, because the thing is with these adapters, like since your computer does not play nice with plugs, if you have a plug on a plug and you put it on the computer, you have to make sure it's just like, well, yeah, exactly. So it just breaks.
If it happens again, if I end up getting it again, I'll end up gorilla taping the plugs together so they can't bend. Get a little bit of gorilla tape and go, ooh. That's like how I fix everything is with gorilla tape. Love with gorilla tape. Sponsored. We're not actually sponsored by gorilla tape, but I use this for everything.
So promote as much if you like. But yeah.
Gorilla tape, it's really good for fixing broken stuff.
Yeah.
I use it all the time. Literally, anything's broken, I'll just use gorilla tape on it. It's ridiculous.
Nothing can go Kong with it, I would say.
Hey, unlike Donkey Kong.
But yeah, so I think the real problem with the Logi Streamcam is I go on and it's USB-C, and the trouble is you cannot replace the cable on it because it's directly connected to the camera. And I think this is a huge deal breaker for some because it's just like, if you don't have a USB-C, you have to find an adapter to go with it. And I think it's a bit awkward because I think it seems to be intended for Macs with mine because they have USB-C ports and it's like, key. But I just hope you'll find a really good webcam that is reliable and for the cables to not break, because your old microphone even have like a poor microphone, the plugs on it.
Yeah, I mean the microphone I got at the moment is pretty decent. I got a new microphone. That's good. Webcam not so much, but microphone's good. Still good. It's still good.
Yes.
So all reliable 720p Microsoft lifetime life cam HD 720p. It's been reliable. It's helped me for years. I've had multiple webcams that have broken on me, and this one still works even when I throw it around and it gets stood on or get kicked. Like my dog ends up like bloody like hiding it or whatever. It still bloody works. So you can't complain too much. Yeah, Microsoft product.
Go Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cheap and cheerful webcam, but it's done the job, but it still works. So cheers. Drink to that. Cheers.
Anyway, the thing is, I also have like problems at my end too, and it's not to do with webcams.
No.
But I think it was last week when I was away for a while and I came back and I realized the kettle, which is 2 months old, because I said on the earlier episode of the podcast where, the kettle's broke because it's old. Got a new kettle, honeycomb by Morphine Richards. Had it for 2 months and it was leaking right on the bottom. Because when I came back, it's like, oh no, there's a little bit of leak. But then it's just making a puddle.
Is that the kettle that fused your entire house? Like your entire flat was fused, like the electricity got cut out because you put the kettle on?
That was an old one. The new one I got.
That was your old kettle.
Yeah, the new one from Sainsbury's, which is a multi-mitches and is recommended, which is a honeycomb one. It's been leaking from the bottom. Didn't trip any electrics, but it's hazardous. But thankfully, I was able to return it to Sainsbury's and got refunded because they got a 1 year's guarantee. Like, if it breaks, you can have it replaced for up to the year. And I'm like, I thought I would get that replaced, but I'm just going to get it refunded. So I just went to get this refunded and get a more expensive kettle, which is a Breville textured kettle, whatever it is. So far, so good, but nicer. Because I think the last one is a bit cheapo plastic, which you can get for 30 quid. So, but
I always go for the cheerful. I was going to say, for our American listeners, a kettle is what we use to make cups of tea, because we're British. Tea.
Or if you're in the UK, you'll know a lot about electric kettles that boils water at the mains. But for Americans, you put it on the stove and boil it by gas, I imagine, or some sort.
How do you? How do they make like pot noodles and stuff in America then without a kettle? Like like instant noodles. Because like basically like a pot, you just pour a kettle on top of it and then you've literally got noodles. Like that's how it works over here. That seems like a bit clumsy way of doing it. Putting like a saucepan and like. Ooh.
You obviously haven't heard of cup noodles because I think they definitely had this sort of stuff in America. Because all you had to do is like fill the basic kettle, which is like 10 quid's worth, with water. Put it on the stove to boil it and get and then you just pour it into your noodles.
I love it. I live off ramen and I love ramen. It's so good. Ramen noodles. Just put a bit of hot water on it. Boom. Perfect.
I don't know.
Off of it.
I don't know if it's like Japan's got like electric kettles. So
I imagine they would. Japan are like so advanced. They're gonna have like the future of kettles, like super kettles.
I don't think I can easily get all the stuff there. So Japan, do they use electric kettle?
What is this? What is this podcast become? We're talking about kettles and
what's the crisps?
we like some fish and chips, mate. Put some crumpets on it. Oh, crikey! I'm Dick Van Dyke. I'm a chimney sweep. So we're having issues with technology this week. I think both of us are. Mine's a bit more critical when it comes to the podcast. I mean, I suppose you need a cup of tea for your to do your half of the podcast, so it is important that you have a good kettle, I suppose.
Yes, I agree.
Because without your cup of tea, you're not fully. Like every podcast, I have to have a Coca-Cola sponsored, and you always have to have a cup of tea. It's like tradition at this point now.
I'm drinking coffee actually.
Ooh, how American of you! Some coffee.
Anyway, let's move
You
on
having it black, or
to
you having a mocha, or what coffee are you having?
instant.
Is it like a ooh fancy? Even though it's complete opposite of fancy. Ooh,
Anyway,
lovely bean juice.
yeah.
Right, yeah. Let's move on. Hot bean juice.
What have we been playing? So, what have we been playing this week? Very simple question,
I don't know.
actually.
It is very. I love it. Not much, honestly. I should be playing more. I've got a big list of games I want to play, and I've barely touched hardly any of them. Vampire Survivors has become my new addiction again. I'm trying to get all the new achievements in the new DLC. Almost got all of them. Got it's like called Excalibur, but it's not called Excalibur. It's got like a name of like Excalibur or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I've maxed that out, and I've maxed the arrows out, and I've got the bonus world you can unlock and stuff. So I've had some fun with that. So I've been playing a lot of that, and I've played a lot of WWE 2K23 as well, making characters for the return of ACW or PCCW, Potato Championship, Potatochief Championship Wrestling, or All Chief Wrestling. But I think I'm going to rename it to Potato Pro Wrestling like after the channel, and that'll be my new brand. Bring back the Cornish Pixie, who you can. who could that could be? The Cornish Pixie and Captain Wales, my favorite character. So I'll be making characters again. I'm thinking I'm bringing that back for my Potato Pro Wrestling channel. Since I got the capture card, I think it'd be a fun thing to do. And then if you guys want to be in that, just let us know. I'm thinking I might have the Xbox the box as a faction, like at the NWO or whatever, will just dominate the entire show. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of WWE 2K23 and Vampire Survivors mainly. I'm not really gone back to Ghostwire Tokyo, even though I should have. Not really gone back to it, to be honest. And I did my the Fracture Challenge on Halo Infinite as well, and that's all I've really been playing.
I just been playing that too, just to get all the awards, and pretty much the same old crap. Just waiting until season 4 comes up with new stuff. But if I've got time to burn, then it's just like go and get some weekly rewards. That's all we do, because I think the store is just like predictable at this point. Like, you get some cool coatings and you pay more than enough for the price for it. Like, there's Temple Grounds this week, which is cool. It's got a brown burgundy with chrome silver platings. And you get them for 3 cores for like 800 credits. Sorry, credits.
I was going to say, the color gray, there's like the color gray you can get, which looks like the default color from the game, and you can pay like 800 credits for it. I'm like, what is this? You can pay for the color gray. It looks like the default color. It's like the default. It's not even like not even the fancy gray. It's the gray. Why to pay $800 for that? $800, 800 credits, which is like, wow. $3, $4, I don't know.
The week before, they rip off. The week before, well, actually, it's just a few days ago that they released a coating for all the armor cores, and it's just literally like grey brown with camouflage on some parts, and it's supposed to be based on the ODST soldiers from Halo 3 ODST.
Okay, I just use the default color and get the same results. The default color of the game is grey, so why would I? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't even make any sense when you've spent. They still releasing episodes on winter, episodes on autumn. Did a video in winter, but now you have autumn, which you get to buy 1 coating for all armor cores and weapons for 1,400.
Yeah, mad. No, thank you.
I would have to say the cadet colors for the armor cores do actually look very good, and I think in some situations that the default color is just all you need. There's no need to pay for extra coatings. And to be honest, I'm getting a little bit fatigued because I don't want to keep spending more than what I should be paying for each coating pack. Like, I just think it's just like paying for all those fancy paints that makes you look like a clown.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, it's been a while since I bought anything in the shop, to be honest. I usually just stick to the battle pass and usually go with that. Yeah, a bit frustrating. Still enjoying Halo, still have fun going back to it. I'm level 70 now. I'm trying to take my time with the battle pass. I don't want to go through it too quickly.
Still at
So
100.
I'm level 70. Yeah, you're level 100. I'm level 70, I believe. So, yeah.
So steady wins the race.
Exactly.
But anyway,
so what have you been playing?
Yeah, that I was going to say. If you check out our channel, we did some gameplay vids for Ghostwire Tokyo, as well as I think it was Vampire Survivors 2. And I've also been playing a few sessions of Tetris. But yeah, I can elaborate on the Vampire Survivors that I got all the achievements again on the game. When we did the video.
I've still got a couple to go.
Yeah, when we did the video, you were just absolutely surprised when I just came back super strong.
Yeah, you broke the game. You started the game and like maxed out. For people who've never played the game, you look at the video and like, what the hell's going on?
You're not the only one who said this.
Yeah, I've got quite good at it lately. But yeah, it gets to the point now where I'm playing that game and I'm like an hour into a run and my character's just not dying. I'm like, well, I'm kind of bored now and I just literally have to quit. I don't like having to quit. I'd rather just die and then I can like move on to the next thing. But yeah, my characters are too OP now.
It's good that you can like pause the game and then choose to quit, so that way you can still get the money. But I just found like if you just like farm money and then you just feed it into the character to get more golden eggs, you start out like overpowered. So that's how I did it in the video, where I fed thousands of golden eggs into the character. Started off, and it makes you think it's like, wow, oh my gosh, you started after like 10 minutes. And no, I didn't. It's just I just started the game.
Broke it. You broke the game.
But anyway, no. I just found the secrets where I've been using new weapons to unlock, like break seals, unlock all the characters. And I have to admit, the maps are really interesting. Like, there's different sections, makes you go in the RPG world. And I just wanted more. So, like, I just beaten it all. And I just feel like, I want to play more of this. More DLC, please.
More DLC. I need more. Just devour it straight away. It's like, more. Well, give me more DLC. No more. I was like, yeah, I'm the same way. As I said, I've got a couple more to go. I just broke the seal with Excalibur or whatever it's called. I've done that one, and then I'm trying to think. Now I'm gonna try and get the other powers. So it should be interesting. Like, I've still got about 4 or 5 achievements to go.
Yes,
but I am going to try and complete it again for sure. So yeah, have you been playing anything else, or is it just that really?
I've been playing Minecraft Legends as well. However, this will be discussed in this week's topic of the week. Is that what we're discussing?
Ooh, yes, I believe so. I mean, I haven't really played it much, and you've not played it too much, but we will still discuss it. Maybe go over some reviews and stuff.
That will be this will turn into an Ask Me Anything, and this will be like Ghostwire Tokyo, only is in a different direction. So should be great. Now
it should be fun.
Let's move on to the news.
The news at Xbox O'Clock.
News.
Now let's check out the Fantasy Critic League, and we're going to check it right now.
Wow.
So
I was doing quite well last time I checked. Let me have a look. Let me get I haven't seen it myself in a while. Let's load this up.
Your best performer is Resident Evil 4 Remake. So
hell yeah, it is. Great game.
24 points. But the recent entry this week that's got a score is Minecraft Legends has got 3 points because it's NT3.
Oh man, really? It should be like it should be higher than that.
That will be discussed in I would say in the top of the week. But Suicide Squad, it's got 0 points because it's been delayed to next year.
Yep. You moved. I think you got rid of it as well, didn't you? It's no longer in your game.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, so Dead Island 2 is finally releasing after a year or two, which now has 74 points, which means it's going to have an extra bit of points for PS with Trust. But Crime Boss is now got like minus 12 points. And now over half of the games on the list is already like getting scores, and it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just having a look at mine. So I've got Bayonetta Legends, that's got me some points. Minecraft Legends, no. Wulong, I got some decent points. Fire Emblem, okay. I'm still doing all right. 63 points I got. And then the PS Trust guys have got 62. And then you've got 41. So I'm winning by 1 point.
That's because I haven't got a lot of games.
You're missing 5 games, though.
That's because I haven't got a lot of games there. I got 5 slots to go. And the one is likely to get poor scores towards the end of the year. So,
you're taking it slow. You're taking it nice and slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm just rushing it out like, what game's going to get high scores for right now? And then you're going to get all the scores in like December, November time and just destroy me.
Anyway, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Cam looks very good. Seeing the gameplay trailers for it makes me interested to buy the game, even though I got the first one on the Game Boy Advance. This one is getting 80 points and it's likely to be given it about 10 points. And that is good to me because this one, I thought it would be in the 70s, but now it's in the 80s. So if it increases, even better. So I think it's really good to see this like getting the good score. But one of the forthcoming games is Pikmin 4, and I think it will be I think there will be Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6.
I'm looking at your list. The next, like literally within the next 2 or 3 weeks, you got Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which are both going to be, I imagine they're both going to be really high scorers. So when they both come out, you're going to probably take the lead again when they both come out, I think. Unless Jedi Survivors is a massive letdown. I can't see Zelda being a letdown. I think that's going to really boost your score up quite a lot, I think. The next game I got coming out is Redfall, I think, and everyone's got mixed feelings on it. I might get marked down because it's 3 frames a second and all that stuff. Like, people might be mad.
Well, speaking of which, Ghostwire Tokyo is already been like criticized by Digital Foundry for its performance. So I think this is not particularly good for it, even though it came out on the PlayStation 5 like about a while ago. But I just feel Redfall could be at threat of being marked down for having performance and gameplay issues. But we'll see.
I hope not.
We'll see.
I hope not. I'm really looking forward to it. That's like the next game I'm really looking forward to. Even though it's 3 frames a second, I'm still looking forward to Redfall.
Yes.
Not going to lie.
Now.
So yeah, that's fantasy cricket. Are you guys interested? Let us know in the comments below who you think we should pick up. Yeah. So next segment, next news, more news.
Serving more for you, Chief. Next in the news is exciting games joining Game Pass, and we're going to have 7 fantastic games. So, 2nd of May, we have Redfall, we have Benedict Fox, and what interests me so much, because I think it would be useful for the Ruby video I have planned on my own with a guest, whatever, is BlazBlue Cross Tag, which is finally coming over to Xbox, which has Persona, Ruby, BlazBlue, and some other RPG. I'm not sure.
Yeah, fair enough. But Redfall, I'm looking forward to that. That's more my thing. I'm really looking forward to the Redfall. Xbox exclusive, 3 frames a second, which is being a massive. Honestly, do you think that's been overblown?
Yes,
because I think it's been overblown.
It's been overblown.
It's bad, but I'm like, people are like literally saying, "I'm not buying this game ever." 0 out of 10, 30 frames a second. It's like, well, it's an arcade game. They've never really made a bad game. as far as I'm aware. Prey, Dishonored, Deathloop, all those games have been fantastic. So I don't know why this would just suddenly be rubbish, I feel like we should give it a chance. I know 30 frames a second isn't ideal, but I'm willing to give it a shot, it's a bit, I feel like people are being a bit too harsh on it, honestly, I feel, personally. But then maybe I'm just an Xbox fanboy, I don't know. Would I be the same way if it was a maybe.
That's definitely not about that. Because if all those people complaining about 30 frames per second on Redfall, then they should really take a time travel machine back to 2003, and I think they may end up having an aneurysm with all those games. Even with the PlayStation games, I mean, it will be like only a few games that got ones with 60 frames per second, but most of the games you have on the first PlayStation is like 30 frames per second, 20 frames per second, and if any of those PlayStation fanboys who are just like, oh, Redfall's like 30 frames per second. I mean, come on. You really need to check the whole room.
Yeah, I mean, I know as I said, I'd rather it be 60 frames a second.
Why?
And I think it'd just be more smooth and more better way of playing it, and hopefully be better quality. But it's not. I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, a lot of people are like, the sky is falling, we're all gonna die. Redfall 3 frames a second. Get to the shelters. Oh, it's the end of the world. Get your children, get your pets, hide them in the bomb shelter. It's all over. Everything's coming to an end. Like, calm down. It's like it's one game. It's 3 frames a second. It's not that big of a deal. I feel like people are over exaggerated, but I feel disappointed, but not the end of the world. I think I'm still willing to give it a chance. I'm still gonna try it. I don't think frame rates has ever been graphics, frame rates, any of that has never been a deal breaker for me when it comes to video games. My favorite game, as I said, Vampire Survivors is one of my favorite games in the last couple of years, and that's just like 8-bit. It's like a load of sprites. It's not like graphically intense. It's like, I don't go look at Vampire Survivors like, whoa, graphically this is blowing my mind. I don't care about graphics or that. I know frame rates like different, but I don't. If the gameplay's fun, the gameplay's fun as far as I'm concerned. So I'm willing to try it. If it sucks, it sucks. But I
would say I agree with your graphics. That it's not important about the graphics; it's just to do the gameplay. I think it's just like goes back to the 90s or 80s. Like, you judge a game by the graphics, but now it just seems as if everyone is fussing about how it looks when it's not the whole point of it. Even the most impressive games, it's just like always get huge ratings. Like Gears of War is just like, oh, it's a huge cinematic game, and now these days it's just like so muffled in colors, and it's just like not so colorful graphics.
I mean, I was saying a minute ago about how I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to get an amazing score. That's going to be 30 frames a second.
Mm-hmm.
No one said anything about that. I like Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time, and that was 30 frames a second. I'm a huge fan of retro games. There's lots of retro games out there that I love and will go back and play that are 30 frames a second. I don't think it breaks a game at all for it to be 30 frames a second. Yes, I prefer it to be 60 because it'd be slightly smoother, but I don't see it as much of a deal breaker as other people do. I don't see why people are like, I'm boycotting the game, Xbox have failed, Xbox have completely let everyone down, all this stuff. It's like, wow, calm down. It's one game being a 30 frames a second. I don't think it's that big of a deal personally. I feel like people need to take a chill pill.
If I may add, I've been playing Ghostwire Tokyo on quality mode. There's an option to do performance, but I prefer quality because I would rather have really nice ray tracing and all those additional effects than having to care about 60 frames per second. Because let's face it, the consoles are not that powerful enough to do ray tracing of 60 frames per second. But I think I enjoy the ray tracing, which I prefer, over 60 frames per second. I think it's when it comes to games like Call of Duty, which then goes into Fortnite, when you have like 60 frames per second being the norm, people are expecting as if 60 frames per second to be the indicator of good graphics. But I just feel this is like blowing out of proportions. And I feel this is pretty much being used as a sense of argument to say, oh, if this doesn't do 60 frames per second, this sucks. And I think it's being used to like heckle at all those games that can do that. But then again, it's just like people are expecting like having like as if they want more powerful PCs, don't want strong enough graphics card to do 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. And I think they seem to be expecting too much from games, which also strains the developers into bringing out good graphics. And to be honest, I really don't really give a shit about it because the thing is, we're not looking to have a PC. We just want to get a games console so we can play games on. I mean, look at Amazon. Get a Xbox Series S. 250 quid. Yeah. It's like same size of like 3 stacked CD cases and does so good ray tracing at 1080p. Yeah. That's all you need. Like when I did the Ghostwire, it looks so good and graphics are incredible. So what if I told you it's like came from the Xbox Series S? What do you think?
Yeah, well, you said it in the video Series S, and like, I feel like the Series S is a really underrated console. I feel like
exactly
people don't give it the credit it deserves. Oh, it's holding back the system. It's like it's not. Like PS4, most PS5 games are designed with PS4 in mind. You say PS4 is holding back this generation because the Xbox Series S is more powerful than the PS4. And you don't see people going, oh, the PS4's holding everything back. Like, you know, like God of War was made on PS4 and on PS5, and yet people still say it looks amazing. It was made on the PS4 as well. Bias. So I think that's a dumb argument. It's a dumb argument saying that people hold stuff back. It doesn't, obviously, clearly. Just common sense, you know. But yeah, I said, would I prefer 60 frames per second? Yeah. Is it the end of the world? No. I love retro gaming and stuff, and most retro games are 30 frames a second or even less than that. So it doesn't really like concern me too much, to be honest. I love to just go back to old school games and play them. You know, it's not the end of the world having a higher frame rate. It's nice, but it's not essential as far as I'm concerned. And you know, I'm willing to try Redfall. I'm still looking forward to it, in spite of all the bad publicity. I'm still going to give it a try, and I'm hoping it's going to be decent. So fingers crossed.
Now we got to move on, and the next bit of news is FTC chair has been questioned over a remarkable decision to side with Sony rather than Microsoft.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, this story just keeps going on and on and on, doesn't it? The FCT stuff and I just wish this Activision deal was done. Honestly, it's just dragging on and on and on. I find it interesting when Sony Sony have basically they've basically been sticking their nose in where they don't belong, and now they're kind of getting people looking at it. It's like, hey, Sony, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? Let's have a little look at your history, Sony. I think that's more interesting. But
well, according to this article, is Microsoft attempted to take over Activision Blizzard, as is according to Pure Xbox anyway, was brought up at a congressional hearing this week in which FTC Chair Linda Khan was asked about why the Commission had decided to side with Sony in relation to the deal, and said that it was pointed out to be remarkable that FTC had taken Sony's side, especially considering the company controls 68% of the global market for high-end video gaming consoles. There's a video there which is posted by Destin on Twitter, but I don't think there's a lot much to say that. Karen pointed out that the case was in administrative proceedings and therefore didn't make any direct comments on it. However, as a general matter, she mentions that while the FTC really benefits in hearing market participants across the board, an independent judgment is always made based on the law and facts. But yeah, it's just more like fussing about it when obviously Microsoft is going to get through. Anyway,
I hope so.
In the same article, according to the comments, this is from someone who not long ago broke the law, and I think there's an article saying 40 members of Congress reportedly violated stock trade reporting law. So,
well, just typical, that is.
And also one of the other comments says, to me, Linda Khan has a major issue with big US corporations and don't want to see big companies getting bigger regardless of market and nature of the competition. And I think it's just making so much fuss.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fuss for, I wish they just get it done now. It's just driving me nuts, this is. I just want it done. I want it done so they can buy Sega, for God's sake. I say this every week.
And so be it. So let's move on.
You did mention, that wasn't mentioned in the news. I wanted to mention that briefly. The Sega's bought Ravio. I think it's Ravio, the creators of Angry Birds.
Oh, so we're getting like angry hedgehogs.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, could you imagine Angry Birds being like fire, like a Sonic and like his speedball, like fire into the. That'd be pretty cool, actually. I'd buy that. But yeah, apparently, that like it's not in the news, but it's like interesting. The Sega's expanded into mobile space as well. So yeah, interested. As I said, my top pick for who Xbox should buy is Sega. So the fact that they're moving into the mobile space with Ravio is interesting. I think that's a really interesting thing. But yeah, it's not in the news. It wasn't really that important, but it's thought I'd bring it up briefly. Next news.
Yeah, so important question though. You've been on the PS We Trust podcast and they've been talking about the Sony Portable, where it's a handheld that only streams to the PlayStation 5, and you don't seem to agree with it. Davey somehow does not like it and think it's pretty much backwards, where in the UK, the wireless is not that reliable, and I think this is where it will falter and fail in it.
I think, and Phil was the only one who kind of had a little bit of an optimistic side to it. But yeah, I mean, I've been saying for months on this podcast that I wanted a cloud console. And if it was for Xbox, it makes sense because I've got Game Pass and I have access to the Game Pass library and I can play the entire Game Pass library. The fact that you have to stream from your own PS5, so you can't even stream, there's not like a PS5 in the cloud that you can stream from. You have to stream for your own PS5. That's a bummer, and that sucks. That's really limited. You can play Xbox on a mobile device because I got an Android tablet in my office. So I can play my Xbox on that, but having the option to play Game Pass games directly from the cloud is also great. So having those two options just make it much better. And also, like the Logitech G Cloud, which is the top of the market at the moment, does that, and it also has the video on there and other streaming services, and you can also play a couple of games native as well. So, like, if you wanted to, you get like Vampire Survivors Mobile Edition for it natively.
I would have to say that the Logitech is more pleasing to what Sony's proposing. Like, Sony's Portable connects to the PlayStation 5 to stream stuff, and you get someone at home to switch discs if you go to Barbados, for instance.
Yeah, that's what we were saying in the podcast, wasn't it? Like, if you're a disc-based PS5 gamer, you're screwed. If you want to play different games on the portable, you have to literally get someone to swap the discs around when you're outside the house. It's so dumb. They don't think of that far ahead, really.
So the Logitech device lets you stream online, and doesn't matter whether you're on Android or not. The Logitech is what gives you the plus. But what if I tell you why? What I can tell you. What if I told you that the Xbox co-creator is thinking that Microsoft really should have made an Xbox Portable?
And they should. I think they should. I've been saying for years they should make a portable. I'm surprised they still haven't, to be perfectly honest. They say they want to get Xbox to everybody. I feel like it makes perfect sense to make a portable. If you had one that had like the power of the Series S that you've got, we were talking about how good the Series S is, in like a portable format with like a touch screen on it, even if it was like £500, at the same price as like a Steam Deck, it would still be a worthwhile investment and like a worthwhile system. I think that would be something they could do.
But yeah, so obviously I would need to read out this article to say that Seamus Blackley has recently said on Twitter that he reckons that there could have been an Xbox Portable, and that's in response to the tweet by Jez, who had installed Windows 11 on the Steam Deck, and it's the closest thing we have right now to the Xbox handheld. He even went on to say this is actually awesome. So I think that's about it.
I love that.
Seems once the Xbox Portable should have been the Xbox Portable, and it should have been like a Steam Deck with Windows 11. So, but then, what would you reckon if there should be an Xbox Vita instead that has all the innards that lets you like put games into it and you can use it? What do you think of it?
So a native handheld would be brilliant. It'd be probably really expensive. But if it was like a native one that had, like, as I said, like the internals of like a Series S, if you had like the Series S kind of power, maybe even less than that, but like the 720p on the handheld, that would be brilliant. But if it was a streaming only device, I still think that would work, but it'd have to be super cheap for it to be worthwhile.
Yes.
Crossplay and all that would be fun. I would probably buy one, to be perfectly honest. I've been looking for something like that for a while, and then just if there was an official Xbox one, I would probably get that. Because I like playing portable games, and I like my Xbox, and I like having Game Pass wherever I am. So, I have a tablet for this, but it'd be nice to have a dedicated device for it with like the controllers on the side and stuff. I think that would be dope.
I would rather get a system that's like PS Vita that is not as powerful as a Steam Deck, but it also has like it's small, easy to fit in your pocket and take with you everywhere. Like if it's as powerful as Xbox 360, I don't mind, because to be honest, I'm actually quite a fan of the recent PlayStation Vita Slim, which is like more rounded. The buttons are much nicer. The only thing I felt is a bit of a pity is that OLED screen is absent on it, and there's no way which you can get it a OLED screen, which is an LCD screen, which is a shame. Yeah. But the whole economics of it is just so good. So if Microsoft were to take this kind of styling, like put it on, like give it some innards of Xbox 360 on the ARM processor, and have it as a games handheld, that would be absolutely perfect. And if you get like ones that are shaped like SD cards with Xbox games on it or go digital, it's just perfect. Yeah. I would definitely go for something like that. Basically. Yeah.
I mean, just a Switch, basically.
Well, not basically a Switch, because I think the Switch is like a bit bigger and has detachable controllers. But what I'm thinking of is more like...
a Switch like this. You can have a Switch Lite that doesn't detach and is a bit smaller.
Fair point.
Yeah, I would like a handheld that had a 360 is probably not powerful enough. If you had the internals of an Xbox One and X or like a Series S, like had that kind of internal power and like a 720p screen, you could probably make it for like under 500 quid. It'd probably be a decent handheld then. And playing most Xbox games on it would be pretty rad. And the games you can't play, you can stream. Probably would be so. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I would definitely buy one. And even if it was just a streaming only device, the fact that Xbox gives you more options, you could stream from the cloud and stream from your console, makes it a bit more of a appealing offer. If PlayStation goes, you can stream all these games from PlayStation Plus and you can stream stuff from your console, then that would have been like, oh, okay, that's fine. But the fact that you have to have a PS5 to use this streaming console is ridiculous to me.
I think, in my opinion, that if it's the size of the iPhone 13 mini, that would be absolutely perfect. Like, if it's like a small screen that is like roughly the size for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance screen, and it's like a small console, that would be perfect. Because when I switched over from the iPhone XS to a smaller screen of like a 13 mini, which is like about 4 or 5 inches wide, some sort, I thought it would be too small for me, but it still works, and I've been using a lot more than other devices, which I was supposed to have more time on, because I just think I don't think it really matters. You just really want to have something that fits in your pocket, and I just think this is where the Xbox Portable is where it becomes most useful than like Switch Lite, for instance, even smaller than the PS Vita. That would be just absolutely perfect. Haven't they games handheld the size of the Game Boy Micro, which is like about the size of a chocolate bar? Would have been perfect.
I like the Game Boy Micro. God, that console was so small. It was amazing. I said handheld Xbox, sign me up. I'm totally down for that.
Now let's move on
my
to
Switch still use my Switch every day.
Yeah.
Or every day.
But yeah, let's move on to that. The other bits of news is Jedi Survivor's Chunky and Series S. So, I think, according to the early screenshot, guess how big it is? Or was it going to be on the Xbox Series X?
2 million, no, 100 gigabytes? That's pretty big.
No.
More. Higher or lower?
Higher.
Higher. 150.
Well, it's close, but I can tell you the answer. It's actually 140 gigabytes of space, which you need for a single-player game.
I know, yeah, the space is becoming an issue with the Xbox at the moment, and the PlayStation. They're both having the same issue. Hopefully the expandable hard drives get cheaper soon, because that's a lot of space. That's like literally like more than a tenth of your hard drive got for one game. That's crazy.
It could be smaller for the Xbox Series S, but it could be the same. I'm not sure. But as it stands, it's going to be leveraging between 140 to 150 gigabytes of memory, and I think this is ridiculous for a game. But is as expected for the game that's going to be on like 4K TVs or with Unreal Engine 5 games? So maybe that's the future. But I think it's just the console's space is struggling to catch up with it, and I feel that it's going to be a turn-off for some of the people because it just means they have to clear up a lot of space for it. So if anyone's out there who wants to make expansion cards for Xbox, then it's now your time to start pushing them out because they're going to be needing it.
Yeah, and that's a very ridiculously big size. People slag Nintendo off, but they're pretty good at their file sizes. I remember them saying that the Tears of the Kingdom is the biggest file on a Nintendo Switch ever. But I still think it's like, I can't remember how big it is. It's like 17 gigabytes, I think. I've just checked file size. I'm just trying to look it up now. 18.2 gigabytes is Tears of the Kingdom, which is the biggest Switch game ever. That's like literally a tenth of the size of this game of Jedi Survivor. That's mad. And it's like, this is like Tears of the Kingdom is like the flagship game on the Switch. So like Nintendo are very good at optimizing their data. Like a good example is Pokemon Gold and Silver. They managed to like double the game essentially, beat the whole original region from. They managed to get Kanto in there. They did manage to double and keep the storage size very small to just one cartridge, which is insane. Like Nintendo are very good at optimizing their memory files. People need to speak to Nintendo about how they do that, because this is getting ridiculous. Games that are nearly 200 gigs are becoming more and more common, and it's like when you only have a terabyte of space, it's a nightmare. Like there's so many games that it's like a Master Chief Collection. I've never deleted that. Forza Horizon 5. I've never deleted that. And it's like, well, there's half my hard drive gone already. It's like bloody hell. It's like it's mad. It's madness.
Moving on, we got the other news is that Ubisoft Plus finally arrives on Xbox. Oh, you're not happy about it?
It's bloody expensive. It's overpriced and it's rubbish. And I'm sorry, Ubisoft, get your shit together. I'm sorry.
If anyone is a bit confused there, Ubisoft Plus is a subscription service that finally arrives on Xbox. It does involve getting a Ubisoft account online on a web browser that you can sign up to, and you pay £50 a month for it. just to play any of the Ubisoft games. That's not the worst of it. You don't get it on Game Pass, not even Game Pass Ultimate, which means you not only have to pay for the Game Pass, you'll also have to pay for the Ubisoft Plus separately. And people are not happy about it.
No, because it's overpriced and there's not much on there. Like you look at Game Pass, you compare Game Pass to Ubisoft Plus, you compare PlayStation Plus to Ubisoft Plus. Like both of those systems are way better value for money than Ubisoft Plus. It's ridiculously overpriced. And I think they're gonna, after about 2 or 3 months when no one actually signing up, I think they might get the hint. They're overpriced and no one really cares. It's like, oh, Assassin's Creed again, whoop-de-doo. Like, you know, okay, Ubisoft, you got Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and that's it, really. I don't think there's anything that's really going to drive me to buy your service. Apart from, like, those games don't really do much for me, personally. Not gonna lie. No, I'm sticking to Game Pass, thanks.
Very
so
well.
we don't. Yeah, as we don't have any breaking news, I don't believe, do we?
Doing a quick check. If anything pops up on Eurogamer, and
the sky is falling.
New Lego Sonic sets and Nintendo's Indie World Showcase is live at 5 p.m, but nothing that is totally relevant to Xbox. So let's cut to the chase and give you topic of the week.
Tots, topic of the show.
It's time for the topic of the show.
Now, this one is what we have been planning for weeks. Minecraft Legends is coming out. We're excited for it. And as it turns out, only played a few hours on Xbox One and you haven't even got round to it yet.
I played a little bit. I did a little bit of the intro. You got like 3 characters that talk to you with like one's got 4 eyes, one's got 2 eyes, and one's they're like hero, spirit, and I don't know, dumb names. But you just, and it's like learning how to play it a bit. I haven't done much, but fun so far. I think from what I've played, it looks and sounds like Minecraft.
Well,
I love it. Yeah, I love Minecraft. That's like Minecraft's one of my favorite games of all time. Top 10. Minecraft Legends, I'm willing to try it. I haven't really got much time into it because I've been obsessed with WWE 2K23 and Vampire Survivors, but it looks fun. And let's play some more. We'll definitely, me and you got to do some co-op in it. I think that'll be fun.
Yes.
Try and destroy some outposts and stuff.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned those 3 characters, though. And I think this where it draws criticism into it. It's a bit silly. But the 3 characters you're talking about, the tall one with 3 eyes is called Foresight. There's,
yes, that was it.
And then there's a small one, which is known as Knowledge. And there's a big bulky one that looks like Honey Monster. It's called Action.
That's it. I couldn't remember their names. That's it. Yeah, they got silly names. People don't like that, do they? I thought it was all right. It's a kid's game.
Actually, it's more to do with like their voices, to be honest. Because when I checked through the Xbox reviews, it's been review bombed on the Microsoft Store, and I think they have a lot of complaints about the gameplay, how it's performed, and
don't review bomb it, people. I got it as my Fantasy League. You can't review bomb it. No, leave it alone.
But anyway,
review bomb something else.
But that would be for the critics, not for the people. Now,
that's true. That's true.
But a few of the complaints have been complaining about the voice for Action. Like, for such a huge, bulky guy, you'd think it was like a deep voice. But as it turns out, it's actually like got a child voice for it. And you'll be thinking it's meant for a smaller character. Oh, no, never mind. It's for the big, bulky character. And you have a more mature voice for the small head one, known as Knowledge.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, did Knowledge have a really deep voice? Yeah, that was funny. I thought that was funny. Why is that a complaint? People need to get a life if that's if you review bombing it because of the bloody voices. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. Come on. Like, I love Resident Evil 1 and stuff, and they have voice acting like, I thought you were going to be a Jill sandwich. It's like, the voice acting in video games can be really bad. Like, if you think that's bad voice acting, please go back to the PS1 generation, please.
I don't think it's to do with the acting of the dialogue. It's actually to do with the voice choice, like how the pitch and the resonance. But so
Silly.
But yeah, I would kind of liken like action to be like Al from Full Metal Alchemist. Like you have this like bulky knight, and then this voiced by Kid inside because of his spirit being trapped in a suit of armor. And that just kind of reminds me of that character there. I mean, it's alright, but it's just more like medieval wump and going in, save the day from the evil piglins, Lord of the Rings kind of wump. But yeah, that's nothing to write home about because I think it's obviously directed at kids and trying to try out different kinds of games.
I think it's aimed at kids. I don't see what the issue is. I think that's silly. If you're going to review Bobby for the voice acting, I think that's just dumb.
I think there's like other kinds of like issues with it too, because like right now the game is pretty simple, pretty basic, and doesn't have a lot of complexity there. Like I've been playing it on like normal, and it's been like really slow. Like the first level is literally like being told how to do different kinds of games. Like once you get through the tutorial, like how to use controls, you go in and the tutorial like continues where, oh, if you go over to this village, you just get rid of piglins, 3 villages. Next, you go to another village and you had to get rid of piglins, destroying the tower, and then you build up fortifications. You go over to another village, and all you had to do is get rid of the outposts by the piglins. And then once you do fast travel bits, you then go into a massive castle, and that's when it's get really difficult. Because mind you, I decided to play on Legendary, and it's still, it's a bit challenging, but it's not Legendary Halo 2 kind of difficulty.
No, it's a kids game though, isn't it? I mean, the game, this is supposed to be kids' first RTS, right? This is to get people into RTS games.
Exactly.
I don't understand how people could complain about that, how it would be too easy when it's a kid's game. It's like, yeah, it's meant to be easy.
But yeah, I just went into the castle, got rid of towers, took a while time, because even if you got the mobs coming in to help you, because thankfully creepers and skeletons often join in to help you out, and that's really nice. Yeah. Creepers are bane of like everyone, and turns out they can side with you because the real enemies are like piglins. So like, okay. Yeah. But then you just went in, destroyed the towers, spawners, and you eventually get rid of the portal. And that's what I did. But yeah, I had to like finish up and I had to go. But once I destroyed the portal, cutscene plays. And then when I went back to the portal, it's just like going around and then keeps being brought back to the middle of this main portal. It's like, what's going on? Oh, well, I might as well save and quit. So I just paused the game, save and quit, and then saving the game stuck about 80%. Been like that for an hour.
Ooh,
stupid bug. Like, doesn't do anything. Save and quit. Been trying to save and is stuck there. Like, literally there. So what I did in the end is I pressed the Xbox button, press start on it and select quit, and easy enough. No need to turn off the console because it's not literally doing anything, to be honest. Then I just went in to clear the local save data. I need to get rid of it because it will be corrupt. Don't want to mess that around with it. And then when I booted up the game again, synced up the data, took a while because there's a lot of megabytes with it. Then when I went into the game, played the campaign again, the campaign is still there. And it resumed to the earlier point where I was still attacking the castle. And I'm like, is it still going to be all right? Even though it has a possibility of it being corrupted?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a serious game-breaking bug. And to be honest, I did worry it's going to affect my Xbox One. And that's system I was playing it on. Thankfully, it's not on the other series consoles. But if it just happens again and it breaks the system, then that will be very bad. Very bad. Mind you, it does autosave, so if it happens again where I can't continue with the game, then I might as well quit the game instead of like saving the crit. Because that's a serious bug.
That's like a bad bug, though.
Yeah.
Definitely try it, though. I think it's on Game Pass. If you got Game Pass, I recommend trying it, I guess. Like, that would be the recommendation I would give. I need to play a bit more. I haven't really played it much to really recommend it or give it a score.
I would be giving a score.
Are you able to give it a score?
Yeah, I'll be giving it a score because, first of all, as you said, it's a kid's game. And to be honest, I think I like to enjoy it. I think it just needs to get the bugs ironed out and you get a really solid experience. But apart from that, it's just like, it's interesting. It's not that special. I think Halo Wars 2 or Halo Wars might give you a better experience, especially the perspective, because I just think for it tries to make it really simple. It's just somehow like it's not easy on how you direct the troops, how you like, because it's really tricky. Like you can call the troops or mark the troops where to go, or you can set the direction on how they attack. You also hold down the RT and you just get the focus attacks. So it kind of like works like Pikmin in this retro aspect, but it's still very simplistic. And also it gives you all the tools, like you can build like fortifications and bits like that. So I think it just kind of like has Pikmin gameplay mechanics with like some fortifications, so it's a bit of a mix between that and Age of Empires, and I think that's really good.
Oh, okay.
So I think, to be honest, the concept of it is really interesting. I have to admit, this is really good.
It reminds me a lot of Brutal Legend. If you've ever played that has the same kind of gameplay to it. Really? Yeah, it's a Jack Black game. Double Fine. It starts off like a hack and slash game, but the later you get into it, it turns into an RTS. And you control the main character, who's Jack Black, but you also control all the armies and stuff. And it is like an RTS.
Oh wow, that's really interesting.
Double Fine. It's a fun game. Fun game. I beat it on. I almost got all the achievements, but then you had some online achievements, which are like impossible to get. I was like, no.
Yeah, because right now you can get it on the Xbox 360 through Game Pass. And I was wondering, I might check it out because of the Mario Brothers movie too. Good. And Jack Black is amazing. He even like starred in Mandalorian season 3 and like amazing. So I think like
Jack Black's my spirit animal. I love Jack Black.
Do you think so? How does this compare to like Minecraft Legends?
I haven't played much Minecraft Legends, but it's like a similar kind of gameplay style. Obviously, Brutal Legends all like rock and roll and like beasts and stuff, and like heavy metal. Whereas like Minecraft is Minecraft, and it's like creepers and stuff and pigs and stuff like that. I think it should be fun. As I said, it's easier, probably a lot easier than Brutal Legend, because Brutal Legend does get quite tricky towards the end. But yeah, I'm definitely going to play it a bit more. I like my RTS games. I don't think there's enough RTSs on console. They're like, everyone's scared of making RTSs on console. I used to play Command & Conquer on the PS1 all the time, and people were like, "Oh, can't play an RTS on a console." It's like, mate, I used to play Command & Conquer for hours on my PS1. I don't know what you mean you can't play on a console. I've done it before. It's not that hard. I think I think they should definitely do it, but I'll definitely try it anyway. I think, and it's another like we see this a lot. I feel like Xbox, their first party lineup is a lot more varied than like PlayStation's. Like, yeah, third person Grumpy Dad Simulator is fun every now and again, but it's like literally every game is that. Whereas on Xbox, you've got a kid-friendly RTS, and then we got a Vampire Slayer game coming out later this month.
Yeah, I think.
And then we got open Galaxy game. There's lots of like, even if you don't like Minecraft Legends, there's lots of other games coming out that might be a bit more up your street. Is what I was trying to say. it's nice to have a little bit of variety and something completely different.
That's cool.
You know?
But I think we're getting a bit off topic because I also need to mention that while it's really interesting concept, I think that there's some obvious flaws with it. Start off with, it's a 40 quid game that has microtransactions in it. Ever heard of Minecraft Marketplace?
Yeah.
You get the same one,
there,
except you don't get purchases from Minecraft. You end up having to spend more coins to get extra things like mounts, customization. So basically what you got with the game is just annoying. All you got. So that's a bit lame.
That's annoying.
That
is very lame.
I think this is like a really bad part of the game. But once you get into it, it's that I think that there's people complaining about like session for matches on it, which I haven't tried the versus, so I can't really comment on that. But as for the campaign, I think that the AI is so. Like sometimes the piglins like go attack the characters, and then like sometimes they would like focus on the buildings or couldn't like make decisions. Whereas piglins, they can either follow them or they just like follow your character around. So therefore, I think the AI is just like not that smooth, and also you don't do a lot as a player. You just like basically like trying to micromanage with the buildings, the units. Like even though you can like attack with the sword, like you just literally don't do anything in the battlefield apart from like directing units over to attack the enemy. So it's just like it's fun, but I just don't think it's a bit enticing to be a really fun game. And I think people would probably be not totally satisfied with it. But as a concept, really fun, but it's not well executed. So I'm going to have to say that I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10, but it's very close to 6 in its current state because of the bugs and also to do the initial gameplay. It could get better, but I think it's going to end up being 7 out of 10. And I think this is a disappointment to me because I think it's going to be interesting. But if I'm going to have to be honest there, you were excited for it when it got announced, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
To me, I was a bit skeptical because I think it was a bit more of an MMO type of game. But as it turned out, there's an RTS game. And it's like, oh, it's really interesting. And I think it's just really fantastic. But then I just think like when I get to play it, it's just not something that everyone will enjoy playing. And I think this is, as you said, it's more of a kids game. So I think if you've got family and you like to do co-op with it, then it's just should be just absolutely fine. And I think that's what it's going to end up being. So yeah.
Maybe you should play some co-op, see how we feel after we played some co-op. See if that changes our opinion on it. I mean, I've not played it much, so I'm not really going to put a final result in, but I was thinking about 6 or 7 myself as well. But I would like to play a bit more before I really give it a final score, you know? But yeah, I think it looks fun. As I said, even if it's not your cup of tea, it's nice to know that Xbox are making different things. I like a bit of variety in my Game Pass. I don't like to play the same type of games all the time. I get bored of just playing the same type of games, so having a new RTS to play that's a bit more kid-friendly, I'm like, yeah, we'll try that. If it sucks, then I'll play Vampire, and then I'll just do some Vampire Hunting in Redfall next month or the next couple of weeks. You know, there's always something to look forward to, and there's always something different. So yeah, I think definitely give it a try if you're into RTSs or Minecraft. If it's kid friendly. If you've got kids, you want to get them into gaming. I think that might be a fun thing to get them into. I'm going to definitely play it some more, but I think that's my opinion.
It's not a must play for me. But it's definitely worth trying if you want to explore this concept. But I think there's a chance that other games may have a chance to go a bit better than Minecraft Legends. But I think it's a bit of chalk and cheese with this one. So as it stands, 7 out of 10. So yeah. Anyway, we're moving on to the last question. I have a question for you, Chief. Right. So for this last question, it's definitely Minecraft related, and we're going to be asking this guru who played too much of Minecraft. So, last
I do like
question. What is your favorite feature that's been added to Minecraft after the launch version?
Okay, interesting. Don't know. I don't know. That's weird because I can't think of what was there before launch. Obviously, creative mode wasn't there at launch on the Xbox version anyway, so I love a bit of creative mode, like as an option.
I'm gonna have to say, yeah, that creative mode's really fantastic because you can create a lot of stuff with it.
You just
That's
have fun
really
with
good.
it.
I like that choice because
It's an easy answer.
I think when the Xbox 360 version came out, it did not have creative mode, and it's been a big complaint.
No,
But now when it
it
came
was,
out
yeah.
for like Minecraft, it's like, oh, it's huge. You can build stuff with it. And I think it's really good
Yeah.
the stress ball of this whole game. But
I used to play so much Minecraft back in the day before it was in alpha and beta. So, obviously, like having the end and the Nether, and then you got the Nether 2.0, like the expansion to the Nether. I can remember entering the Nether the first time, and they've changed it so much. Like there's like different areas and stuff, and now different type of pigments and stuff like that. And then the end is with the Ender Dragon and stuff like that. They changed that as well. Minecraft is such a great game. If you haven't played it, it's so much fun. It's just a nice, chill game. I think you should definitely try it if you've never played Minecraft before, for sure.
I
There's so many
recently
good stuff being added.
I recently did a few videos on creative mode, which I could re-upload to this channel as a bonus.
Well,
Yeah, so provided if I find some videos, I can like do that. But apart from that, I think when I did the overview on creative mode on Xbox, it's like, oh, I'll just do this. Think be okay without commentary. And then one person came out and says, this has no commentary. Dislike. I was like, really?
Yeah.
What were you expecting from videos back then? But anyway, it's just me like doing random videos because I like it. But I think it's just when I did the creations in Minecraft, it's just like, I'm just thinking like, I think this hasn't been given enough attention. So with our gaming channel now, we can like upload it. So that would be quite nice as a bonus side dish. Do you think?
We're nice to do some Minecraft stuff on the channel. We love Minecraft on Xbox the box, and it's one of our favorite games. So yeah, definitely play some Minecraft at some point.
Yes.
Try to do a Minecraft series. I don't know. Try Rooster Teeth it up. Yeah, I know how much you like Rooster Teeth. Try and do like an achievement hunter kind of.
Achievement City. Yeah, I think I've been to your version of it, and it's like, oh, we're going to build houses, but I think we just kind of let off on it. And also, it was on the Xbox version before we moved on to Bear Together update, and I think that's when things changed. But now we can do crossplay. And now I got the Xbox Series S, so I'll probably do a special video where I can like preview all the creations with it. So that will be very nice. But I think if I was to make an opinion on what's the best feature for it, I think the runner-up is Caves and Cliffs, which is to do with a increased height. Love it. Yeah. Better generation, bigger caves, and I think like when they delayed it on the part 1 of the Caves and Cliffs update, it's just like, it's just annoying because we have to wait for it. But I do understand it's like more complex. So when it came out, it's just like it's just so much better because you've got much bigger space to light up and explore, and I think it just adds so much depth to the game. But this is not my most favorite feature of Minecraft. I would have to give it to the Nether update because
definitely
Netherworld is like one huge biome, and it was so red it hurts. But now with that update, you have more biomes. You got basalts, which is really fantastic for getting slimes. You get like forests. Love the wood types, so great. And you can also like go through like defeat more enemies like piglins. And you can even like collect more materials, which makes for some more impressive look. And I have to admit, I did storage rooms in different worlds, and I even like got some really good creations because of what the Nether update has brought over. And this is one of the things that I'd love to see in the future of Minecraft, and that's improve the end. Because when the end update came out, it's like you had this like huge world with so much potential, but it just lacks so much biomes, and it's just like going through the void and looking for places where you can get some rings and get some like shulker chests. So it's a bit disappointing.
I mean, also you got like pirate chests, you got hidden like underwater temples, you got like sand temples and jungle temples, and you got like mansions. There's so many like little things they've added in over the years, like almost like extra boss areas. So much to do in Minecraft. It's such a good game. Oh my god, I love it. It's
even without Notch, who is one of the original creators of Minecraft, it got better and better and better. And now, like, the recent updates have actually overhauled it. And I just really love what they keep adding to the game. And so far, we're getting cherry blossom trees, camels, and bamboo wood coming over to the game. So we're just waiting on that to come out. And that should be very, very special, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. More stuff. We love Minecraft. When there's a big update in Minecraft, we'll probably discuss it on the channel as well. Next time there's a big like Kids and Cliffs update or whatever. Definitely.
Now,
sure.
So we're going to wrap this up. So we almost got it down to an hour, but we have 15 extra minutes on the news when we shouldn't.
That's all right. It's all good. We want to have a chat, or for more content for you guys.
Cool. Anyway, without further ado, thank you so much for watching this week, and I'll see you around. Take care.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.